This is a little bit of an interesting one, purely because whenever anything weird and mysterious like this happens around any of the elite, there's always a lot of unanswered questions. That's one thing I've definitely noticed. We probably aren't going to get like a fair approach from the Independent, but hey ho, let's go. Obama chef Tafari Campbell died in a tragic paddleboard accident, and three questions remain unanswered. I've got a feeling there's probably more than three. Martha's Vineyard authorities say that they've found no suspicious evidence in the drowning death of Campbell near the Obama's family estate, but several key details about the circumstances have not been explained. Basically, a guy was found drowned. Basically, America are about to have their Michael Barrymore moment. Jesus Christ, remember Michael Barrymore? Several questions remain unanswered days after Tafari Campbell, who worked as a personal chef to Barack Obama and Michelle Obama, drowned in a tragic paddleboarding incident on the island of Martha's Vineyard off Massachusetts. The 45-year-old from Dumfries, Virginia, that's a Scottish place. That's why I'm laughing. He was from Dumfries, was he? Had served the 44th US president during his tenure at the White House between 2008 and 2016, and accepted an invitation to stay on with the family when Mr. Obama stepped down to make way for Donald Trump at the end of his second term in January 2017. Emergency services were called to the Obama's 30-acre estate near Turkeyland Cove on Sunday evening after a paddleboarder was reported to have disappeared in the Atlantic Ocean following a brief struggle to stay afloat after getting into difficulties. His body was discovered at around 10 a.m. on Monday with the aid of sonar technology about 100 feet from the shore and 8 feet underwater in Edgartown Great Pond, a large coastal pool connected to the Atlantic. Tafari was a beloved part of our family, the Obamas said in a statement in response to the tragic accident. When we first met him, he was a talented sous chef at the White House, creative and passionate about food and its ability to bring people together. In the years that followed, we got to know him as a warm, fun, extraordinarily kind person who made all of our lives a little brighter. That's why, when we were getting ready to leave the White House, we asked Tafari to stay with us, and he generously agreed. He's been part of our lives ever since, and our hearts are broken that he is gone. Today we join everyone who knew and loved Tafari, especially his wife Cherise and their twin boys Xavier and Savin, in grieving the loss of a truly wonderful man. Campbell had a brief brush with fame in 2012 when he brewed an ale from honey gathered from the beehives Miss Obama had installed in the White House's south lawn, which is believed to be the first alcohol ever produced within the grounds of 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. There are several key details which we do not yet know about the circumstance of the beloved chef's death, a look at which follows. How did Tafari Campbell drown? Massachusetts State Police said on Tuesday that they had concluded that Campbell was standing on his paddleboard, lost his balance and fell into the water, then struggled to stay afloat but could not do so. The MSP added that the deceased was not wearing a personal flotation device and was not leashed to the paddleboard at the time of the accident, suggesting he may simply have been overwhelmed by the waves, regardless of his capabilities as a swimmer. The MSP added in its update that an autopsy found no evidence that Campbell's death was suspicious and no trauma or injuries were found on his body. But apparently the guy was a very good swimmer and he was an experienced paddleboarder, so it wouldn't have had anything to do with, I think at least I've read somewhere he was an experienced paddleboarder. So that's a little bit weird, you know. Professional swimmer drowns is obviously, it's a bit of a sus one. He wasn't a professional swimmer, but it's alluded in other articles I've seen that he knew what he was doing. Police said no other updates are expected except for standard toxicology results, which are protocol in all autopsies and may take several weeks to complete. Questions have been asked, however, about just how experienced Campbell was in the water after it was noticed that a number of his Instagram posts suggested he may only have learned to swim or to swim confidently within the last 5 years or so. In October 2017, he posted a photo showing him and his wife standing chest deep in the sea off Aruba with the hashtag #StillCan'tSwim. One follower asked, "But can you swim though? Lol." Campbell responded with a weary face emoji, suggesting frustration or lamenting. The Independent has contacted that person for comment. A pair of videos posted about a year and 4 months later show him practicing various swimming strokes over beginner distances with the hashtags progress and survival skills. Who was the witness to the tragedy and the 911 caller? That was another one. A second person who has not been named was with Campbell when the disaster unfolded, according to the MSP. The fellow paddleboarder tried to swim to Mr. Campbell's location but did not reach him in time, the latest update read. I don't know why they were so far from each other if they were going out there together. The other paddleboarder then swam to shore and notified a person on shore of what had happened. That person placed a 911 call to the Dukes County Regional Emergency Communications Centre, which initiated an immediate emergency search and rescue response by numerous public safety agencies. The caller has also not yet been named, although the Daily Mail has reported that the call came from within Obama's house without citing a source. And that's the strange thing, is they think it happened from within Obama's house. They were saying it wasn't someone on the beach. It wasn't some rando. Allegedly, it came from inside Obama's house. Were the Obamas in the house at the time? The MSP said on Monday that neither the former president nor his first lady were at home at the time of the tragedy. However, the office of Barack and Michelle Obama later clarified that they were on Martha's Vineyard at the time, but not at their mansion when Campbell went missing. Maybe they were told to pop out. For a little bit. Their daughters, Sasha and Malia, were spotted leaving Martha's Vineyard in the aftermath of the episode. The Independent has contacted the Obama's office for further details. So, it's just a little bit suspicious how it's a case of, oh, he only learned in the last 5 years, but I mean, swimming's like riding a bike. Like, once you learn how to swim, you know how to swim, right? Like, even though I'm not a man that goes in a pool very often. The only time I really get to go in a pool is whenever I go on holiday. And, whenever, the last holiday I went on was my honeymoon, 3-4 years ago. I don't know. Time flies when you're happy. I'm joking, I'm very happy. But, I got into the pool and I was swimming around, right? I was in the ocean and I was swimming around and everything like that. It was like riding a bike. You don't forget it. Right, so the fact is he's went out and learned. He's obviously went out and got lessons or something like that. And I mean, if he's had lessons, then he knows better than me. I'm self-taught, so I'm probably doing it wrong. But I can still do it. But it's just, and then it's saying, oh, it was a person on the beach that phoned, but then they were saying, oh no, it actually came from within the Obama's house and everything. And again, this could just be a tragic accident that happened. The guy went out for a bit of paddleboard and he got into trouble and he drowned. The water is a mysterious, angry and vengeful thing, which is why in Celtic mythology we treat it with, we don't like the water that much, but if we do go into it, we're respectful and very, very, very mindful of how dangerous it can be, because you don't know what the fuck's going to drag you under. And I'm not, and whenever we say that, we're not talking about sharks, but or this guy saw or overheard something that he wasn't supposed to. And, you know how it goes. Dead men tell no tales. Maybe it's that, maybe it's not, maybe it's just a tragic accident. But one thing I can say with absolute certainty is we're never going to find out.